We'll ask that word of wisdom in Yeshua's precious name. Heavenly Father, open eyes and open ears today. Turn with me to Leviticus chapter 9, and we'll continue our study. And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and said unto Aaron, Take thee a young calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering, without blemish, and offer them before the Lord. And unto the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, Take a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering. Verse 4. Also a bullock and a ram for a peace offering, to sacrifice before the Lord, and a meat offering mingled with oil. For today the Lord will appear unto you. And they brought that which Moses commanded before the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the congregation drew near and stood before the Lord. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commanded, that you should do. And glory of the Lord shall appear unto you. Verse 7. And Moses said unto Aaron, Go unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering and thy burnt offering, and make an atonement for thyself and for the people, and offer the offering of the people, and make an atonement for them, as the Lord commanded. Verse 8. Aaron therefore went unto the altar, and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. And the sons of Aaron brought the blood unto him, and he dipped his finger in the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the bottom of the altar. But the fat and the kidneys, and the gall above the liver of the sin offering, he burnt upon the altar, as the Lord commanded. And the flesh and the hide he burnt with fire without the count. And they slew the burnt offering, and Aaron's son presented unto him the blood which he sprinkled round about upon the altar. And they presented the burnt offering unto him, with the pieces thereof and the head, and he burnt them upon the altar. Verse 14. And he did wash the inwards and the legs, and burnt them upon the burnt offering on the altar. And he brought the people's offering, and took the goat, which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and offered it for a sin as the first. And he brought the burnt offering, and offered it according to the manner. And he brought the meat offering, and took a handful thereof, and burnt it upon the altar, besides the burnt sacrifice of the morning. He slew also the bullock, and the ram of the sacrifice of peace offering, which was for the people. And Aaron's son presented unto him the blood, which he sprinkled upon the altar round about. And the fat of the bullocks of the ram, and the rump, and that which covered the inwards, and the kidneys, and the caul above the liver. But they put the fat upon the breast, and he burnt the fat upon the altar. And the breast of the right shoulder, and the breast, this is verse 21, and the right shoulder, Aaron waved for a wave offering before the Lord, as Moses commanded. Verse 22. And Aaron lifted up his hand toward the people, and blessed them, and came down from offering of the sin offering, and the burnt offering, and the peace offering. And Moses and Aaron went into the temple of the congregation, and came out, and blessed the people. And the glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. And there came a fire out from before the Lord, and consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat, which when all of the people saw, they shouted and fell on their faces. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 29 says, our God is a consuming fire. Chapter 10, and Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not. They went out and found some fire started by who knows what, but it was strange fire, and they shouldn't have done it. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse, I believe it's verse 17, says that the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And that's what we're seeing right here. Can't have a preacher up there make-believing. Verse 2, and there went out fire from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. Judgment begins at the house of God. Verse 3, then Moses said unto Aaron, this is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come near me, and before all of the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Meshach and Elzaphon, the sons of Uriel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, come, carry your brother from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they went near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moses had said. And Moses said unto Aaron and to Eleazar and unto Ithamar his son, uncover not your heads, neither rent your clothes, lest you die, and lest wrath come upon all of the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which the Lord hath kindled. Be a hard thing not to be able to cry for your son, but that's where Aaron is. Verse 7, and you shall not go out, excuse me, verse 7, and you shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, lest you die. For the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you. And they did according as to the word of Moses. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, saying, do not drink wine, nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when you go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest you die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation. Verse 10, and that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, and that you may teach the children of Israel all of the statutes which the Lord hath spoken unto them by the hand of Moses. And that's the problem with preachers now. They don't know the difference between laws, statutes, and ordinances. All of these blood ordinances and all of these blood statutes was nailed to the cross. Verse 12, and Moses spake unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar his sons, that were left, take the meat offering, that remaineth of the offering of the Lord, made by fire, and eat it without leaven, because beside the altar, for it is most holy. And you shall eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due, and thy sons' due, of the sacrifices of the Lord made by fire. For so I am commanded. And the wave breast and heave shoulder, you shall eat it in a clean face, thou and thy sons and thy daughters with thee, for they be thy due, and thy sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Israel. Verse 15. The heave shoulder and the wave shoulder shall thou bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be thine, and thy sons with thee by a statute forever, as the Lord had commanded. And Moses diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, Wherefore have you not eaten the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is the most holy? And God hath given it you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before the Lord. Behold, the blood of it was not brought in within the holy place. You should indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I commanded. And Aaron said unto Moses, Behold, this day have they offered their sin offerings and their burnt offerings before the Lord, and such things have befallen me, and I have eaten the sin offering today. And should it have been accepted in the sight of the Lord? Question. And when Moses heard that, he was content. Chapter 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which you shall eat among all of the beasts that are on the earth. You want to be healthy? Pay attention. This is the health laws. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, you shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall you not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. The hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcasses shall you not touch. They are unclean to you. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. Pretty simple. It's got scales and fins. Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the water, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath fins, whatsoever hath no fins, this is verse 12, nor scales in the water, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which you shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten, they are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, the osprey, the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, the owl and the nighthawk, and the cockowl, and the hawk after his kind, the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swine, and the pelican, and the gur-eagle, and the stork, and the heron after his kind, and the lapwing, and the bat, all fowls that creep going upon all fours, shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them you may eat: the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these you shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcasses of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. The carcasses of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, these are unclean to you. Whosoever touches their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean to you. Verse 29, these also shall be unclean to you among the creeping things that creepeth upon the earth: the weasel and the mouse, the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the charmeleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doeth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whosoever any of them, when they are dead, do fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it may be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening. So it shall be, so shall it be cleansed. Verse 33. And every earthen vessel wherein any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and you shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh, shall be unclean. And all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcasses falleth shall be unclean, whether it be an oven or range or pots. They shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit, wherein there is plenty of water, shall be unclean. But that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be unclean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean to you. And if any beast of which you may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean till evening. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until evening. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean to the evening. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination, it shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, and whatsoever hath more feet, among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. You shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them, that you should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and you shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. You shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Chapter 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed, and born a son, a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of the separation of her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of the foreskin shall be circumcised. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purification 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and for a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of congregation, unto the priest. This is verse 7, who shall offer it before the Lord, and make an atonement for it, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that hath borne a male or a female. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, the one of the burnt offering, and the other for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Chapter 13. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have the skin of his flesh, a rising or a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron and the priest. He shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, and unto one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague is in sight, be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look upon him and proclaim him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day. And behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall proclaim him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. Verse 8, if the priest see that behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, that the priest shall proclaim him unclean, it is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quite raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall proclaim him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. Verse 12, and if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all of the skin of him that hath the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall proclaim him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when the raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. And the priest shall see the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again, and be changed into white, he shall come into the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall proclaim him clean that hath the plague, he is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed. And in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest see it, behold, it be a sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall proclaim him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. This is verse 23. But if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin, whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, it and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning, whereof the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall, this is verse 27, and the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Verse 28. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is the rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is the inflammation of the burning. If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head, or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in the sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head of the beard, the head or beard. And if the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut him up that hath the plague of the skull 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look upon the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up that hath the skull 7 more days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the skull, and behold, if the skull be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. And if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look upon him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, and the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. But if the skull be in his sight at a stay, and that there is black hair grown in up therein, the skull is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. 38. If a man also or a woman have a skin in their flesh, bright spots, even white spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spot in the skin of the flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he's clean. And the man whose hair is fallen off of his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. And he that hath hair, verse 41, and he that hath his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet is he clean. We're going to leave it there for today. We'll pick it up in chapter 13 and verse 42 when we start again. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And I hope you got something out of it.